If you spent the last 3 months with 5011 browser tabs open on your computer, one for Portugal visas, one for Mexico taxes, 3 Facebook groups all telling you something different, and you still couldn't tell me where you actually plan on moving to, then stay right here. This episode is for you.
Because here's what nobody says out loud. It's not that you're not smart enough or serious enough. You've been researching for months and probably years. The problem is nobody ever handed you the steps in the right order. So you're out here trying to do step 4 before step 1 and then wondering why this whole 2-step dance feels impossible.
And it feels impossible because everybody online makes it sound like 60 steps. Visa this, apostle that, tax residency, banking, healthcare, shipping your whole life across the border. It's a lot of noise. So most folks just close the tabs and tell themselves, maybe next year.
But it was never 60 steps. It's just 6. 6 real steps, and they work the same whether your freedom zone turns out to be Portugal, Panama, Ghana, Thailand, Colombia, or right here in Mexico with us.
6, not 60. And in this episode, we're walking you through every single one. The exact framework our clients and thousands of Black Americans use to go from 50 open research tabs to holding actual residency card in hand. Real visa numbers, real cost of living, healthcare, and safety, country by country.
So take your notes, screenshot the numbers as they come, and come back to this video every time the doubt creeps back in, okay? Because it will. And if you caught last Sunday's episode, you already did the hardest part. You screenshotted your core 4. I want you to pull it up right now because everything we build today sits right on top of it.
Real quick, are you new here? Don't worry, we got you covered. One-way ticket,
Sold to every single thing.
Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Full-time residents helping Black Americans do the same.
I'm Tristen.
And I'm CC, and this is Melanated in Mexico.
This is the version of how to move abroad we wish somebody had handed us a year before we figured it out the hard way. This is part 2 of our 3-part series, the Blaxit Blueprint.
Grab your tea or your tequila and a pen, and let's get into it. As you're probably aware by now, more Black Americans are moving abroad right now than in any other point in modern history. Portugal, Ghana, Mexico, Panama, Thailand, Colombia, Costa Rica, Spain, the UAE, and the destinations are as different as the reasons people pick them.
And there are a lot of reasons. Lower cost of living, healthcare you can actually use without going bankrupt, safety, a little racial peace, and the chance to allow our US dollars to work smarter and not harder.
Every country hands you those things in its own mix. Portugal gives you EU access, the beach, the Mediterranean, and one of the lowest residency income bars in the entire world. Ghana gives you deep cultural roots, right of abode for heritage citizens, and a Black community that has been growing fast ever since the 2019 year of return. Panama gives you a US dollar economy, those pensionado benefits, and a 2-hour flight back to Miami whenever you need it. And Thailand? Thailand gives you Southeast Asia charm for around a couple thousand a month, plus a DTV visa that lets you stay 5 years. Costa Rica hands you Pura Vida with universal health care, and Colombia gives you the most bang for your buck out of just about anywhere on the list.
We chose Mexico, and that decision worked for us for reasons we're going to share throughout this episode. But real talk, that doesn't automatically make it the right one for you.
Which is exactly why today's episode is a framework, not a sales pitch for one country. 6 steps that apply to the location of your choice. Mexico is just our worked example because that's where we actually landed. But at every step, we'll show you what that same move looks like in Portugal, Panama, Costa Rica, Colombia, Ghana, and Thailand too.
All right, before we get into step 1 though, let's be honest about what moving abroad is not.
Here's 6 truths nobody tells you before you start this process. And I need you to hear all 6 because if you believe the lies, you'll quit before you make it to even step 2.
Truth 1, moving abroad is not a vacation.
A vacation is a week in a resort with a Long Island in your hand and your feet wiggling in the sand, okay? Moving abroad, though, is paperwork, consulate appointments, apostille stamps, and figuring out where the Sam's Club equivalent is in your new city. It's work before it's peace, but child, nobody tells you that part up front. But I'm telling you now.
Truth 2, moving abroad is not quit.
Ooh, from the day you decide to the day you've got boots on the ground, I want you to budget at least around about 6 to 18 months. We were able to sell everything, obtain our residency, book a one-way flight with 10 bags in just 6 months. But you don't have to do everything that fast. Take your time. Just know that it's possible.
Truth 3, Moving abroad does not require you to be rich.
That's right, friend. You don't have to be a six-figure sister to move abroad. The lowest residency income bar we're going to show you today is around about $1,000 a month. Around 1,000. Sis, that's Social Security money, that's remote work money, that's a decent pension paycheck. You do not have to earn six figures to qualify. That's the biggest lie I want to prove to you by the end of this episode.
Truth 4, moving abroad is not for everyone.
Roughly 1 in 10 immigrants moves back home within the first year. And that's not scary, that's just honest. Here's the difference though. The folks who move back almost always skipped a step. The ones who stay did all 6 in order.
Truth 5, moving abroad does not mean picking one country forever.
Getting residency in one country doesn't lock you out of anywhere else. Get the Portugal card, try it on. If it doesn't fit your life, go try Panama. Having options is the whole point, while they're available.
And truth 6, the most important one, moving abroad is not something you have to do alone.
Every single country we're about to name already has a Black immigrant community waiting on the other side. Auntie already made the enchiladas, child. She's got a plate covered for you and a seat saved at the table. Go on and screenshot this one. This is the whole map right here.
All right, so step 1, where should I actually live? And I say it that way on purpose because most people get this completely backwards. They fall in love with a country on Instagram and spend the next 2 years trying to bend their real life to fit it. And in reality, that's exactly how you end up right back in Dallas.
The right way to do this is the Core 4 framework. 4 non-negotiables, and you rank them in order. 1 being the thing you care about most, 4 being the things you can kind of flex on. We updated it for this video so it works across every destination, not just Mexico. Because regardless of where you land, ranking these 4 is what tells you where you belong. Let's start with number 1, climate. Do you need that tropical view of the ocean every single morning, that walk on the beach to clear your mind at night? Or do you crave 4 real seasons and cooler climates without all the humidity sitting on you? Pick the weather that actually heals you, not the one that photographs well. Number 2 is culture. Are you drawn to Latin American, West African, European, Caribbean, or Southeast Asian? There's no wrong answer. There's only your answer. Number 3 is community. How much do you need an established Black American community already there to welcome you in versus being one of the first building something new? And number 4 is cost. How far do you need your dollars to stretch? A moderate cut, an aggressive cut, or are we only eating beans and rice tonight, friend? For us, proximity to home was number 1. Climate was 2. Cost was 3. And healthcare was 4. And that ranking, more than anything else, is why we're sitting here in Puerto Vallarta today. So before you go anywhere, I want you to rank your core 4 right now in the comments. The next 5 steps only work once you know what you're building towards. Now, friend, before you sign that lease for your ocean view condo, because I know you're already thinking about it, have you verified if you qualify? This is the question most people forget to ask themselves. They skip right past it to step 3 and start neighborhood shopping. But now is the time to ask, because this is where Instagram meets immigration, and it all gets very real.
Every country has residency requirements for Americans, but here's the good news. Most of them are far more reachable than people think. So I fired up Spreadsheet. Yes, y'all already know the spreadsheet had to come out today to give you the real data, and she pulled a straight comparison of 6 of the most popular Black American destinations, with every number verified, fresh for 2026. So let's start with Portugal. The Portugal D7 visa requires economic solvency of approximately $1,000 a month. That's about €920 tied to Portugal's 2026 minimum wage. The Panama Pensionado is $1,000 a month in lifetime pension income, or $750 if you own $100,000 plus Panama real estate. The Colombia Rentista is about $1,400, 3 times their minimum wage. Now, Costa Rica's Rentista is about $2,500 a month, or $60,000 in a bank deposit. Now, Mexico's temporary residency is roughly $4,400 a month in income, or $75,000 in savings, either or. Thailand's DTV wants 500,000 baht, which is about $14,000 in your account for 3 months. And Ghana's right of abode varies by your heritage claim. Screenshot the table, fam. You want to see these side by side. Now here's the big picture. If we're bringing in around $1,700 a month in income, you already qualify for the entry tier of most of these visas on a genuinely modest income.
So no, again, you do not have to be some 6-figure earner to live in these places. A good job, a solid pension, a piece of Social Security, that right there is the door. You'd be surprised to know that most of the people living this life have a similar financial situation as you. But here's one important thing that's true across every single country. These income thresholds go up over time, usually every year, usually tied to inflation. Mexico resets every January based on the UMA. Portugal moves with its minimum wage. Colombia's threshold jumped 24% this year alone because their minimum wage did.
Which is why the smartest move, if you're at all serious, is what we call residency insurance. Think of it as your backup plan, your plan B, pretty much your CYA. Even if you don't plan on moving for another year or two, you can secure your card now while you still qualify at today's number. The fees are affordable, some of them less than $1,000. The option is right there. And once you've got the card, you're locked in at this threshold. You really should consider it.
Yeah, very few people even know this move exists. And the smart ones quietly take advantage of it. You want to get your fire extinguisher before the smoke starts rising.
Now on to step 3. How do you actually apply? Every country's process is a little different, but almost all of them follow the same 4-part pattern. Learn the pattern once, and you can use it for anywhere you qualify for.
Part 1 is gathering your documents. That's your passport with 6+ months of validity, your apostilled birth certificate, your apostilled marriage certificate if it applies, a criminal background check if required, your financial statements or pension proof, and the country-specific visa application form.
Now, apostille is the one that catches most people off guard. Fam, it's pretty much just a stamp that authenticates a U.S. document for legal use in another country. You get it through your state Secretary of State office, usually by mail, and it takes about 2 to 6 weeks, so plan accordingly.
Part 2 is submitting your application at that country's consulate inside the U.S. And this is where most first-time applicants get delayed or sometimes even denied because consulates operate independently, even for the same country.
We call it consulate roulette. LA, Houston, Dallas, New York, Miami. They can all operate a little differently. Same country, totally different experience depending on which building you happen to walk into that day. We train our relocation clients to be prepared for consulate roulette. We prepare them for the immigration process to ensure they get approved the first time. You never know what you're going to get, so make sure you have an experienced guy leading you on this journey.
Part 3 is biometrics and the interview. I encourage you to show up on time, dress clean, bring more copies than you think you'll need, and answer honestly, but briefly. The consulate isn't trying to trip you up. They just want to confirm you are who you say you are and that you can support yourself.
And part 4 is the card or the approval. Most countries then have you enter within 90 to 180 days and finalize your residency card in country.
Now, honest note, friend, you can do all of this yourself as a DIY project because I love me a good DIY project, but not this job. Go peek in the Facebook groups and see how that actually went for a lot of people. Most of the people who DIY'd it will tell you they wish they hadn't.
And that's not us guessing, that's us. We started our whole process as a DIY project. But when I couldn't get an appointment scheduled in Houston, no matter what I tried, and y'all know I tried, we made the call to hire a facilitator instead. And honestly, that was the single best investment we made in the entire move. They got us in through Phoenix in 1 week, and we were approved on the first attempt. So we highly recommend hiring a good facilitator. And we'll tell you exactly how to connect with ours at the end of this episode.
On to step 4. Now, this is where you really start envisioning your life in your new country. Is life there really better, though? Because legal residency is just paperwork, but livability is the thing that actually determines whether you stay or return back home. So you want to research the livability honestly before you commit.
There are 4 dimensions to look at, and they apply to any destination. Cost of living, healthcare, safety, and community. Let's take them one at a time. Dimension 1 is cost of living. And here are some rough 2026 estimates for what a comfortable month looks like for a couple. In Medellin, Colombia, looking at $1,500 to $2,200. Accra, Ghana, about the same, $1,500 to $2,500. Panama City runs around $1,800 to $2,500. Now, Lisbon's going to be around $2,200 to $2,800 a month. Now, Puerto Vallarta is a real $2,500 a month. Ask us how we know. And Bangkok lands around $1,500 to $2,500.
Here's our own personal comparison. We were spending roughly about $6,800 a month living in Houston. Now that we're in Puerto Vallarta, we spend roughly $2,500 a month for the same lifestyle. I would say better. That's $4,300 a month we get to keep every single month. Screenshot that one and do your own math, friend. And here's exactly how you figure out your number. Look at your current fixed costs, your rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, healthcare, entertainment. Then head to numbeo.com or expatistan.com and pull those same categories for the city you're eyeing. The typical Black American professional cuts their cost of living by 40 to 60% depending on the destination. But your exact percentage depends on your starting baseline. If you want a shortcut, you can check out our Arbitrage calculator. Just plug your own numbers in and it'll show you your potential savings. Scan the QR code. Dimension 2 is healthcare. And I want to say this part very plainly because it matters most for the Black women watching. Black women in the United States die from pregnancy-related causes at more than 3 times the rate of white women. 44.8 versus 14.2 per 100,000 live births. That's CDC 2024 data, released this past March by the National Center for Health Statistics. Not opinion, not old numbers.
Now, some of y'all might be thinking, okay, but I can afford healthcare. So why does this even matter to me? Because it was never just about the bill. It's about the way you get treated before the bill even shows up. If you've ever walked out of a doctor's office feeling unheard, then you already know exactly what we're saying.
And most of the destinations we're talking about actually outperform US healthcare on outcomes per dollar. A private specialist visit in Portugal is around 25 to 60 euros, and Panama around $60 to $100, and Mexico $30 to $60, and Costa Rica $50 to $100, and Ghana $30 to $60. Every one of those a fraction of what a US visit cost you without insurance. Spread Keisha ran the whole comparison, and the gap is not even close. And if you're a Black teacher watching, Keith Brown, the former New York City public school teacher we featured in our last episode, he's living proof that your pension math changes it completely on this side. His $2,000 a month pension in Mexico City is the life over there, not survival, the life.
Now, dimension 3 is safety. Portugal ranks number 7 in the entire world in the 2024 Global Peace Index. Costa Rica sits in the 50s, Panama in the 60s. Thailand's mid-tier, but Bangkok's expat neighborhoods report violent crime well below the average of most large U.S. cities. Ghana is consistently among the safest in West Africa. Now, Mexico is the one with the enormous range. Mexico is home to the second safest city in all of North America, Merida. It has a safety rating better than most U.S. suburbs. While across the country, there's some border cities that are genuinely dangerous for foreigners. So the best thing to do is avoid those cities and choose from several of Mexico's other safe, vibrant cities. For reference, the U.S. itself sits around 130 on that same safety index.
And dimension 4 is community, which is to say you won't be isolated. Ghana's Year of Return kicked off one of the largest heritage migrations in modern history. Lisbon has a fast-growing Black community rooted in an established Cape Verdean population. Mexico City and Puerto Vallarta have auntie network Facebook groups and monthly brunches you can walk right into. Medellin is coming up fast, and Bangkok has a growing number of us out there happily residing and thriving. Now, a lot of people get right here to step 4, and then they stop their research. Don't do that, friend. Because if you skip what's coming up next, you're highly likely to regret your whole decision. Which brings us to the step almost everybody else skips.
Step 5, conduct a scouting trip. This one's a non-negotiable, fam. Do not skip it, no matter where you're headed. Even if you've already visited there before, this is the mother of all steps.
Because a scouting trip is not a vacation, friend. A vacation is a week in a resort. A scouting trip is a residential neighborhood Airbnb, doing your shopping at the local grocery store and taking the actual bus to feel what that commute is really like. So here's how we run it.
The framework we use is called the 3 neighborhood test. Plan to be in your destination around 7 to 10 days at minimum. Stay in 3 different neighborhoods, 2 nights minimum in each one. That's what forces you to feel the difference between them. And it works everywhere. Europe, Mexico, Thailand, Africa, anywhere. Now y'all might be thinking, that sounds kind of expensive. 10 days in a residential Airbnb runs you $800 to $1,500 all in, which is way cheaper than locking yourself into a 12-month lease on an apartment you end up hating.
And while you're there are just 5 things we need you to check off, okay? It's the same list wherever you go. 1, go on a city tour with a tour guide. 2, sit down with an immigration attorney or facilitator in person. 3, tour long-term rentals with a local realtor, not Airbnbs. 4, visit at least one private hospital or clinic. And 5, go to at least one community event and meet your new neighbors.
Here's a pro tip, fam. If you can swing it, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Complete your residency process in person while you're there on that same scouting trip. That's what we did. It saved us a whole lot of time and money, and 1 extra trip across the border.
If you want that guided version for Mexico with the Black immigrant community already assembled for you, we run fly and try trips into Puerto Vallarta a few times a year. Details are on our website. And if your freedom zone is somewhere else entirely, friend, it's okay. Similar guided trips exist through the communities in those countries too. And finally, step 6. What do you actually do in the last 90 days? You organize your life and you get ready for your freedom. And I promise you this, it looks nearly identical whether you're moving to Portugal, Panama, or anywhere else. Ooh, you remember this, babe?
I'm tired just thinking about it.
We had about 3 months to sell our home, close down our businesses, sell and donate our things, and sell both our cars. Oh my gosh. So trust me when I tell you, 90 days out or more should be plenty of time. Let us give you the 3 important buckets we used.
Bucket 1, documents. Passport with 6+ months of validity, your birth certificate, apostille, marriage certificate, apostille, if it applies, diplomas, if you'll need them, medical records, digitized, your prescription documentation, and a power of attorney to someone you genuinely trust back in the U.S.
Bucket 2 is finances, and you want to set this up before you leave. Open an international friendly bank account that will refund all your ATM fees worldwide. That's a big one. Grab a 0 foreign transaction fee credit card and then set up mail forwarding through something like Traveling Mailbox. And most importantly, sit down with a tax advisor about the foreign earned income exclusion and your personal tax situation and reporting obligations with an international move, because you know Uncle Sam still wants to hear from you.
And bucket 3 is your healthcare handoff. Get your dental and vision checkups done before you go. Line up international health insurance from day 1, not day 30, fam. Assign a medical power of attorney to someone you trust, actually trust. And photograph and cloud store every one of your medical records. Screenshot the 3 buckets. That's your whole last 90 days on 1 memory card. And for all that, it really does come down to the simple stuff. Booking a one-way flight, signing a lease, handing your keys to the landlord, and boarding the plane. And then walking straight into the life you actually chose.
Wondering if this life could really be for you? The community was already built for us when we got here, and it'll be built for you too, whenever you land and wherever you land.
Real quick, our client Arnita, we walked her through this whole framework, and her core 4 came back with proximity, cost, landscape, and drivability, surprisingly enough. That ranking pointed her straight here to Puerto Vallarta, and she's here thriving.
Absolutely. And Alexis moved down from Chicago with her mom. Low cost of living, safety, affordable healthcare, and proximity to home being at the top of her list. And PV checked every single box. Both of them are here now. Both of them are thriving. And that same version of the story is available to you too, in whatever country lands at the top of your list.
All right, 3 simple steps to get you started.
1, right now, while it's all fresh, re-rank your core 4 with everything you just learned. Did your ranking shift on you? Share where it landed in the comments.
2, you want the full 6-step guide as a downloadable PDF? Comment the word MOVE below and we'll send you the Blaxit Blueprint for free. It's the same document we hand every single person who slides in our DMs asking, okay, but where do I even begin this moving abroad journey? It's a general framework with Mexico as one work example.
And 3, if your core 4 lands you on Mexico and you want to talk through your specific situation, we do a 1-hour planning call. Customized so you don't waste your time or your money. Scan the QR code to check our availability this week. And if you want a private introduction to the facilitator who got us approved and our clients as well on the first attempt, schedule a Move to Mexico planning call with us. On this call, we'll share our full list of vetted resources, no gatekeeping, to make this a smooth move for you.
Picture yourself 90 days after you finish that scouting trip.
Residency card in your hand, a lease signed in a city you chose on purpose, not one you just settled for.
And you still have every single option you had before. You just added a different one to the pile. On our end, we actually track what that better option is worth. We call it the MIM index. It's about $51,000 a year that household keeps just by relocating. Not saved once, but kept every single year.
Whew, and imagine that version of Sunday where you don't dread Monday, child, because you're the one who designed how your life looks right now. So hear me out. You're not running, you're not hiding, and you are not disappointing a soul.
You're exercising a right your ancestors fought and died so that you could have. The right to decide for yourself where you build your one and only life.
If this brought you clarity today, I want you to hit the subscribe and share it with your sister, your mama, your cousin, or whoever's been saying they're leaving and just needs to see the map.
Comment move for the free Blaxit Blueprint and tell us, after all of this, what's your new Core 4 ranking?
Then meet us right back here next Sunday for the finale, where Black Americans are actually moving to. You do not want to miss this one. The top 5 countries and which one keeps the most in your pocket. It may surprise you.
Reside where you thrive.